Hi, my name is Meeta Dani, and in this video, I'm going to share with you the journey of Dr. Amrita Gandhi, how she became dabbling professional artist to thriving professional artist in just matter of 1 year, that too during pandemic. So we have Amrita Gandhi here. Hi, Amrita. Please introduce yourself and share a little bit about how you started your art journey, what art meant for you, why you thought of becoming a professional artist, and how you came to know about me and join our entrepreneurship program.
So I was always drawn to art since my childhood. And at every point of time, I would try to learn and leave it, and again try to learn and leave it. And during the course of my college, also post marriage, after having a baby, and through my ups and downs in my life, one thing which kind of remained with me for myself was art. So I noticed a typical pattern, like whenever I was a little low or whenever I had my time, I used to quickly take out a sketchbook and start drawing. So that's when I realized that this thing is not going to leave me, it's going to be with me forever. And whenever I would show off my drawings or paintings to my family and friends, they used to like really like it. And they used to ask me, why don't you teach or why don't you sell your art? But me being dentist, I never thought of it actually. But when my son finished his 10th grade, because I was very actively involved in his studies, I got a lot of free time. And that's when I started showcasing my works on Facebook. And that's when I got a feeling that maybe I can take it up professionally. So that thought came into my head in 2016. So 2016 to 18, I became a little ambitious, and because I sold some paintings as well, I started off my gallery, and I took few offline students to teach. But then it looked very difficult for me because I was trying to balance my clinic and my art. And everyone in my family was of the opinion that I shouldn't take art commercially. I should only stick to it like a hobby and not to build pressure on myself. But because I had started a gallery, and I had investments, right? In a gallery, you need to pay the rents, and I had staff, and I had lots of hopes when I started off. I thought it would just click like that, but it didn't. I would have an occasional sale and I would have an occasional student, but it looked more of a, frankly, a burden to me that I started off a gallery. So at that stage, I think we both met. When you told me that there is something like the art entrepreneurship thing you were starting, I just kind of jumped at the idea because I thought, let me try this last thing which I can to kind of, and I never knew that there's something like art entrepreneurship or something. It was a totally new concept to me. And that was the last try for me. So I'm so glad I took that. And I knew you very well. So I didn't even have any second thought that I should or should not take it.
Okay. When you joined the course, you were like thinking that, okay, this program is going to help you. So, how was your initial reaction after you joined the program?
I would like to tell the viewers that when you started off, I had a very strong mindset that I should be only teaching offline, and students will only understand art if I handhold them and teach them. But when you told me that there's a whole world of online, and now viewers may find it a little funny that we are talking like this about online. But back in 2018, online wasn't such a common or a big thing. It was just something very new, isn't it, to teach art online. So actually had a lot of reservation, and when I stepped in also, I thought that you'll help me fulfill that, the online concept. So that was the main reason why I also joined your art entrepreneurship. And you had some rules which we had to fulfill. That was
Facebook Live.
difficult. You were very persistent about Facebook Live, which I was not comfortable because I had too many questions, which you know, that being a dentist, how can I go and talk about art? What will people think about me? Will they think that I'm not having a good dental practice because I'm practicing for almost 20 plus years, 25 years now this year. So I thought people will judge. And I had all these blocks in my head, mental blocks. But to my surprise, I really got a lot of appreciation from all the ends that she's a dentist and also doing something else. And they really appreciated that.
In 7
Yeah.
days, you got heavy results.
Yes.
Share a little bit about that, how you started earning.
Yeah, so the Facebook Live, I'll just tell you one thing about that. That was the most difficult one. I struggled for the first live actually, but somehow I just hit that live button and it got through. And I got a lot of traction. And you had a competition, I remember,
Yeah, yeah.
the workshop where we had to get
10
students.
people.
And I was in an amazing batch, I remember, where we had students from maybe almost all over the world actually, isn't it? Some from India, some from US, UK, and
Singapore.
Europe and stuff like that. So it really was like a global class, like, it's like a, and coming back to a classroom in my 40s, like late 40s, was something which I can never forget. And there was some good competition between us, which healthy competition between us. And every time somebody would put up a news that I got so many students, then we would buck up with the work. And so it was very nice. And I think I did really well. And I remember getting a award also from you, cash award from you. So that was really motivating.
So uh, now that you have started your online courses, what is the result that you would like to share? Like how you are feeling with your students? Like you have done it for one whole year, right?
Yeah, so I would just like to reiterate to the viewers here. So there must be a lot of you out there who must be thinking that doing courses on your own is easy, because I would have also done maybe one course or something, even if I would have heard that information from someone else, if I wouldn't have joined your course. But to have a mentor who will handhold you and actually stay with you through your fears, through your doubts, and actually push you, because that's what we need at the end of the day, a gentle push from a mentor and someone telling us that it's possible, because we have so many times that thought coming into our head that it may not be possible, you've done a wrong thing while you're doing dentistry, come into this. So all those fears were actually put aside because of the multiple talks I had with you. And once I had first batch, second batch, and third batch, then the things became organic, because then Facebook and Instagram are there, thankfully, and we got so much of traction.
You got student results and
Yeah, student results, which I was showcasing, which was again told by you how to go about putting up. You have this, right? The role model post and the student result post and authority post. We didn't know any of those. So that was all a very good insight for me, which I still follow. And if to the others, though she's no more my mentor, but I still get a one odd reminder from her that you this has to be done and stuff like that, otherwise it would be impossible for me to keep going like this.
I know I know I push a lot. Share a little bit about that journey where COVID happened and the clinic got
Yes,
closed. What
yes,
happened then?
yes, that's something which is really important. So when I joined art, and when Meeta asked me how much do you want to earn, I had a very small number in my head, like if I earn maybe even $1,000 per month, that would have been something very phenomenal for me, 1,000 or $1,500. That would have added additional income to me. And because clinic was doing very well, I thought that's a side income for me. My first online course was in April, and COVID happened in March, and clinic was shut. I was at home. I couldn't do the course from my gallery also. Another major thing, that I couldn't go to the studio also. Nowadays, people think a lot about studios, but that also was shut. And I got all my stuff home, I remember, and I did the classes. And that was actually, for those 2 months, I was so happy. Though the clinic was closed, I was still getting a lot of income, and that was such a big high for me.
How much number you earned for the first time?
The 7 to 8 thousand, 7,800 or something, and that's a big number. I mean, thinking of just getting $1,000, and that was like a revelation for the entire family.
That too for
Like,
the first time you
first
earned.
time.
First time.
Yeah, and it was so exciting. I still remember Meeta telling me, like, even when you are not working, you get money, whereas in clinic you get money only when you work. So all these things I used to think, oh, this sounds fancy, but it doesn't happen. Or it sounds good, but maybe it only happens to her and may not happen to me. But I still wanted to go along with her because I wanted to see. And to my surprise, things have started happening so fast for me. It was a real big thing for me. And subsequently, as I started making a considerable amount of money, I feel so proud even to this day that I contributed for my son's education, that I will never. And it was such a proud moment in the house, through her some hobby, which was a so-called hobby, she could generate such income and contribute. That's always a proud feeling, and my whole family is so proud of me. And one more thing which I can never ever compare with money is the amount of love and affection I'm getting from my students, and the satisfaction I'm getting by teaching. Through some of my very biggest lows in my life, it has really helped me. The teaching has helped me. And it's love all over. It's like that. It's like so much happiness which comes through teaching art. So I must so thankful to you, Meeta, because if not for you, I would not have been in this world of art.
Sweet. It is all because of your hard work, dear. You
Yeah.
getting the results is up to the student, I think.
So I always believe that being introduced into something is very important. And maybe I made things to my flavor. Everybody is a little different how they fine tune things to their taste and take it forward. Maybe I did that, and maybe I did that because I was constantly in touch with you.
What is the biggest takeaway from this course that you now feel?
That's a very good question. I'm 50 now. I just turned 50. And I think I'm associated with you from 2019. That is when I'm 49 or 48, I think. And I have another 10 good years of dentistry. If I just see if I'm living through the years, I have 10 years of dentistry. But I also have another 10 to 20 years of art if I live till then. So it's not that I'm going to stop art. It's going to continue with me. And there are such unimaginable things in store now in the online world, that I'm writing a book that is also thanks to what I've learned from you. Otherwise I would have been like a frog in a well, just doing my own thing. Like I would have been sticking to my profession, which is what I really love, also dentistry. I'm doing it passionately. But along with that, when I have time, I'm making productive use and making some money, a lot of money, not some money. And it will continue maybe for another decade or more.
So good to know that you're going to have a wonderful journey with art. Now you're automating.
Yeah, that's what I was coming to. So there's such wonderful things. So as of now, I'm thinking of automating, but in future, you never know what's in store. They're talking about metaverse, and they're talking about so many other things. So we don't know what's in store for art.
I would say this to the viewers that earlier Amrita was not too tech savvy.
Not at all.
Now you ask Amrita to do something, she's a go-getter. Doesn't hesitate because of the tech, and now she's automating her course and creating several passive sources of income, where even if she goes for holidays for 6 whole months, she will be continuously earning money. And this, how much time it took, Amrita, for you to settle down as a dentist versus settle down as an artist?
Before I started with my gallery as well, I was very ambitious, and I went to a few art galleries and I said, my paintings are good, will you just showcase them? And they said, no, you need to have a portfolio, and you need to have a lot of stuff which you need to showcase. And I actually came back thinking maybe nothing will happen in art. That was one of the major fears, that, I'm not a MFA or a BFA, so I won't be able to do well. But much later on, when I joined your course, it became so evident that you don't need an education in art to do well as an artist. But I wouldn't be able to practice dentistry without doing BDS or an MDS. I have to have that basic degree, which takes about 5 to 7 years, 5 to 8 years. And then you need to intern at some clinic, you need to learn, and then put in money and start off with your practice, which is like any other conventional engineering or any business or anything like that. If you compare art to that, I think my journey was very, pretty much faster. I think I started with you in 2020, and now we are just in 22. And I think I have seen tremendous amount of success, and I have so many students whom I have taught as well in this small period of time. So I think the growth span is much faster. And then as you grow forward, then there are so many things, sometimes the best thing about it is my student can zoom forward ahead of me as well. based on her speed and her passion and her time which she's able to put forward. So there is no time frame, or there is no like, she's junior to me so she can't do better than me. That kind of a thing is not there in art, isn't it? But in professional dentistry, it's like the seniors are always having an edge because of experience and all that. But here now, I think the younger artists who are planning to join are more tech savvy than us. They may know more of that, and they may, if they're taking it, yes. And if somebody wants to do it full time, like I'm doing it part time because I'm primarily a dentist and I work for almost 10 hours a day. But if someone wants to give 12 hours to art, imagine what they can do.
You are
They
doing
can
full
do
time as a
wonders.
dentist, and then you are having a parallel business as an artist.
Yes, and I'm still touch wood doing well.
Wow, that's great, fantastic. So for the viewers, Amrita is one of my students who has earned 25,000 US dollars in 1 month. That is a record. Then she has also earned 21,000 a month. That is another record. And she's constantly earning 5 figures a month. That is seriously good. She has achieved so much that I give a lot of students her example. You are hearing from her own words the fulfillment. The most important thing what artists need is the fulfillment. At the end of the day, the peace of mind that I'm doing good, I'm having some support. That is what she has to say. Like she said that she could not have achieved this without a proper guidance. If you are thinking that you need somebody's guidance in order to scale up your art profession, or in order to start your art profession, you can take from her story, you can learn from her story instead of wasting. Amrita, there are a lot of artists who try for several years, fails continuously for several years. Do you think
Yes.
that makes them feel that it is not possible and they don't try?
Even though I'm saying that I've done so fast in 2 years, there are difficulties. I'm not saying that it's a cakewalk. You need to put in effort. It's not that you're just announcing courses and people are just coming. There is a whole way of approaching and whole way of talking. That's what is taught in the entrepreneurship, right? I mean, how to do the whole thing is what it is taught. And then you need to be willing to be taught, you need to be coachable, and you need to trust the process actually. The whole process is something like, if anybody follows the process, they will achieve the results. And like any other professions, we have teething troubles, we have to go past it. And for going past that, the mentor is important, and a process which can be trusted. So people who are trying to do it on their own, I think I wouldn't have been able to do it myself. I mean, to be frank, I can't talk about others. But for me, I would have stopped, because the maximum one can try is to start a gallery, isn't it? I mean, I did till there, but I was not finding it easy. And one last word, Meeta, can I ask one last word? If you're trying to learn from someone, I don't think there's anybody better than Meeta, because she has these different avatars, Meeta. Of being strict, of being very caring, of being very pushy, of being very, cajoling. So she's all in one, just like a parent would be. And I think she's the best in art entrepreneurship. Nobody can beat her to that.
Thank you so much, Amrita. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching this video. And I hope that you have found this video very beneficial, and you have taken a lot of golden nuggets from Amrita's story. And in case you want to become a professional artist, or in case you want to scale up your art profession, then you can always get in touch with me or my team, and we will have a talk, and we will decide how you can scale up and how you can grow as a professional artist.